Thermodynamics of ideal Fermi gas. We are familiar with the term ideal Fermi gas, which is a physical model assuming a collection of non-interacting fermions in a constant potential well. According to Fermi-Dirac distribution function, the occupation of the energy level is either 1 or 0, that is 0 for empty state or 1 for filled state. At absolute zero of temperature, the fermions will necessarily occupy the lowest available energy states. An immediate consequence of the Pauli exclusion principle is that each quantum state can contain only one fermion. Therefore, all the lowest states will be occupied with one fermion in each until all the fermions are accommodated. Under this condition, the gas is said to be degenerate. Then, near E equal to mu, we expand the Fermi-Dirac distribution function as n of E equal to, which is a Fermi-Dirac distribution function, 1 divided by e raised to e minus mu divided by kT plus 1. E is the energy value and mu is the chemical potential. We expand, which is equal to 1 by 2 minus E minus mu divided by 4 kT plus etc. Therefore, if E less than or equal to mu minus 2 kT, the value of n of E equal to 1. Or if E greater than or equal to mu plus 2 kT, n of E equal to 0. If E equal to mu, Ne is equal to 1 by 2. We can show this distribution with varying energy at 0 Kelvin. From the figure, the spread region of Fermi distribution, that is, the region of E when n of E changes from unity to 0, that is, from mu minus 2 kT to mu plus 2 kT, narrows as the temperature decreases and at absolute zero becomes a sharp discontinuity. The distribution then takes the form of a right angle. From the figure we can see that at t equal to 0, all states with E less than mu f are occupied, while those with energy E greater than mu f are empty. The highest occupied level is called the Fermi level and is represented by EF. Below this level, there are exactly n states if n is the total number of fermions. The states above this energy level are unoccupied. The value of EF depends upon the number of fermions in the gas. One can easily see that at t equal to 0, EF coincides with mu f. The value of mu f can be found as follows. We integrate n of E from 0 to infinity. That is integral 0 to infinity n of E dE, which is equal to capital N, where n is the total number of particles in the gas. Since at t equal to 0, all single particle states up to EF are completely filled with one particle per state. Then for E less than EF, the number of states, which is denoted as sigma of E, which is equal to n of E. And for E greater than EF, the number of states, sigma of E equal to 0. Therefore, we integrate from 0 to EF, that is integral 0 to EF, sigma of E dE equal to n. If the particles have spin s, there are two s plus 1 single particle states all having the same energy E. Therefore, the density of states sigma of E dE in the energy range from E to E plus dE is given by sigma of E dE is equal to V into 2m the whole raised to 3 by 2 into 2s plus 1 divided by 4 pi square h cut cube dE. We include the term density of states. Then we get integral 0 to EF V into 2s plus 1 2m the whole raised to 3 by 2 divided by 4 pi h cut cube e raised to 1 by 2 dE, which is equal to capital N. That is 2s plus 1 into V divided by 4 pi h cut cube into 2m the whole raised to 3 by 2 into 2 by 3 EF raised to 3 by 2 equal to N. Then we get the Fermi energy, which is denoted by EF, which is equal to h cut square divided by 2m into 6n pi square divided by 2s plus 1 into V the whole raised to 2 by 3. Next topic is magnetic behavior of an ideal Fermi gas. Magnetic properties of a system includes paramagnetism, diamagnetism, etc. We are familiar with these behaviors such that paramagnetic materials are attracted by external magnetic fields, whereas diamagnetic materials are repelled. We can treat the magnetic behavior of ideal Fermi gas in two ways. One is under classical consideration, that is by Boltzmann's treatment. At high temperature, the system obeys Curie's law, and at low temperatures, it obtains a state of magnetic saturation. Note the point. In classical treatment, at high temperature, the system obeys Curie's law, that is magnetic susceptibility chi proportional to T raised to minus 1, and at low temperatures, it obtains a state of magnetic saturation. And the other one is we treat the problem on the basis of Fermi statistics. The second treatment gives a significantly different result, especially at low temperatures. In 1927, Pauli done his work on conduction electrons, and he considered the alkali metals as highly degenerate Fermi gas. He made a detailed description about the temperature independent character of the paramagnetism of the metals. This phenomenon is referred to as polyparamagnetism. According to Pauli, the paramagnetism of alkali metals can explain on the basis of the concept of a free electron gas. That is, if we place a Fermi gas consisting of electrons in a magnetic field H, the energy of the particle will be E is equal to P square divided by 2m minus mu H for one with spin parallel to H, and E is equal to P square divided by 2m plus mu H for anti-parallel to H, where mu is the intrinsic magnetic moment of the particle. At T is equal to 0, all levels up to the Fermi level EF will be filled up. Therefore, the kinetic energy of the first group will range from 0 to EF plus mu H, while that of the second group from 0 to EF minus mu H. The particles in each group therefore will be the equation n plus equal to V divided by 4 pi square h cut cube into 2m the whole raised to 3 by 2 integral from 0 to EF plus mu H e raised to 1 by 2 dE. Integrating this equation, we get the result as V divided by 6 pi square h cut cube into 2m the whole raised to 3 by 2 into EF plus mu H the whole raised to 3 by 2. Similarly, the other case n minus equal to V divided by 6 pi square h cut cube 2m the whole raised to 3 by 2 into EF minus mu H the whole raised to 3 by 2. Therefore, The net magnetic moment of the gas is given by capital M is equal to mu into n plus minus n minus, which is equal to, we take the common tape outside, mu v into 2m the whole raised to 3 by 2 divided by 6 pi square h cut cube into the remaining tape EF plus mu h the whole raised to 3 by 2 minus EF minus mu h the whole raised to 3 by 2. If the field is very low, we get M. If the field H is very low, the value of M, we get M is equal to mu V into 2m the whole raised to 3 by 2 divided by 6 pi square h cut cube into 3 EF raised to 1 by 2 h. Therefore, we get the susceptibility chi 0 is equal to M divided by VH, which is equal to mu square 2m the whole raised to 3 by 2 EF raised to 1 by 2 divided by 2 pi square h cut cube. Substituting for 2m the whole raised to 3 by 2 from the equation. Note the equation, EF is equal to h cut square by 2m into 3 pi square n divided by v the whole raised to 2 by 3. Substitute in the above equation, we get chi 0 is equal to mu square EF the raised to 1 by 2 divided by 2 pi square h cut cube into 3 h cut cube n pi square divided by v into EF raised to 3 by 2. Simplifying, we get chi 0 is equal to 3 by 2 mu square n divided by EF. According to the Boltzmann treatment, chi is inversely proportional to T at high temperature and reaches a state of magnetic saturation at low temperatures. This is known as polyparamagnetism in contrast to the classical Langevin paramagnetism. Landau diamagnetism. In quantum statistics, we encounter yet another effect which is totally absent in classical statistics. This is diamagnetic in character and arises from the quantization of the orbits of charged particles in the presence of external magnetic field, or one may say from the quantization of the energy of charged particles associated with their motion perpendicular to the direction of the field. The existence of this effect was first published by Landau in 1930. So, we refer it to as Landau diamagnetism. What are the main characteristics of Landau diamagnetism? The diamagnetism of free electrons in an external magnetic field discovered by L.D. Landau. The magnetic properties of an electron gas placed in a magnetic field H results from electrons having spin magnetic moment and from the change in the character of the motion of free electrons under the influence of the field H. The magnetic field bends the trajectory of the translational motion of the electrons in such a way that the projection of their motion on a plane perpendicular to H assumes the form of closed trajectories. The resultant quasi-periodic motion of the electron in an orbit is quantized and gives the diamagnetic contribution KLD to the magnetic susceptibility of the electron gas. The spin moment of the electrons is responsible for the paramagnetic part of susceptibility. The calculations shows that KLD equal to minus 4m mu b square divided by h square into pi by 3 the whole raised to 2 by 3 into n raised to 1 by 2, where n is equal to the density of the electron gas and m implies mass of electron mu b, Bohr magneton, and h is a Planck's constant.